Hi, everybody. Welcome to Behind the Moon. I am one of your three co-hosts. My name is Bobby. I am with Wild Raven Tarot.
My name is Ramon, and I'm from the Moon Scarab channel.
Hi, my name is Selena, and I'm with Essence of the Moon. Welcome, guys.
Tonight we are taking a look back at ancient Egypt again. We recently did a show on divination in ancient Egypt, hosted by our dear friend Ramon, Moon Scarab. Today we're going a little deeper into that. I'm going to let Ramon take over and explain.
All right. So, on the previous show that I hosted, we're talking about divination in ancient Egypt, like Bobby mentioned. And previous to that, we were exploring divination in other ancient cultures, and we will in the future as well. But I wanted to make a stop and talk about the the Book of the Dead, which is a piece of literature that is very misunderstood. A lot of people don't know about it, but it's a fascinating peek into spirituality in ancient Egypt. And today I intend to do a deep dive explaining what the Book of the Dead is, explain its journey, the journey of the soul through the book, what it is, what it's not, and how it has influenced some of our modern thoughts and spiritual beliefs today. So I'm going to go into that.
Wonderful. Let's say hi to a few people before we start the show. I've been flashing names up here on the screen. We'll give people a chance to trickle in. We are simulcasting on 3 channels tonight: the Moon Scarab channel and Essence of the Moon, as well as Wild Raven Tarot. So if you are not subscribed to all our channels, please do so. Also, we do have a Facebook community forum page where comments to our videos can be posted, ideas for future shows, things you want to point out that maybe we have missed. Yeah, there's that. I'm like trying to believe Ramon misses anything, but all right. So we got Miss Tarot D. What's up, beautiful?
Hello.
Miss Tarot D and I are going to be doing a show along with Selena, and I did invite Ramon. So we are going to be the 3 of us I was going to say ganging up with Miss Tarot D and Alexis.
What day is this? You want to remind them of the date and time?
I'm not sure. I haven't
Okay.
put it on the calendar yet.
Okay.
Sometime in the future.
Yes, it is. I think the 17th. I think. Miss Tarot D, you've got your calendar.
It's a Sunday?
Calendar. Yes. Because the 15th is our birthdays. Miss Tarot D and I both have the same birthday.
The 15th is a Friday.
Or did you say the 17th?
17th. Well, the 15th is our birthdays, so 15, I think it's 17th. The 17th.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sunday.
Janet,
So you're not doing it on your birthday, right?
I don't think so, because I'm Mexican, and you try getting out of a Mexican family birthday.
Okay, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Bobby's quinceañera has to happen.
Oh my God.
I've been celebrating his quinceañera like for 30 years already.
Finally, I am a woman. Okay.
Was a chamba line of his own quinceañera.
Right. Patsy, Jade, Julie, and Julie was just on Behind the Cards with me. Bless her heart. Julie, you were adorable on that. Yeah, so a lot of people are with us.
Hey, Debbie.
A lot of chatters. I'm going down. Here we are. Carolina.
Corina.
Hold on.
Corina G.
Oh, you're right. Corina G. I'm sorry. Again, I'm trying to read without doing
the Pez head thing.
I don't. For those who don't know, I have bifocals, so I have to lift up my glasses or do the Pez head to talk, and I don't like doing that. I'll just hold them up. You
need to order another pair of glasses just for short distance.
Like I really
when you're doing lives. Yeah.
some cute ones. Maru's House of Cards. I will said House of Horrors. Ah,
Okay, so Mr. OD said, tell Bobby that he said Saturday the 16th at 7 p.m.
that's what I said. Saturday the 16th at 7 p.m.
That's Madonna's
7
birthday.
p.m. whose time?
Miss Charity's time.
So
Because if we
mine
went
and
7 p.m. my time, it would be 10 o'clock at night, and that's too late for La Madrina.
Mm. That day, Elvis Presley died also.
Yes.
August 16th. And Madonna's birthday.
oh,
Millie. All right. So people are going to be trickling in. We've got at this point about 24, 25 people watching on 3 different channels. So, for those who don't know, the Egyptian Book of the Dead is ... Ramon?
The Egyptian Book of the Dead. It's a very fascinating book. If you're interested in reading it, there's plenty of copies available in accessible places. You can find it at Five Below. Can you put me on the big screen, please?
Mm-hmm. Certainly.
Give me my place, please.
Que
Place I
vanidoso.
deserve.
Whoops. Hold
oh,
on.
wrong person.
I did. There we go.
There you go. You can get a copy at Five Below, and it's a really, really good translation of the Book of the Dead. The same one is also available at Barnes and Noble. This is $5. This one is $10, much bigger. It's the same publication, but it's amazing. So, the Book of the Dead, when we hear the words Book of the Dead, many of us picture cursed tombs, dark magic, and scenes from the Hollywood blockbuster movie The Mummy, right?
Yes.
And it looking something like this. In modern films, this ancient text is often portrayed as a book of evil spells capable of raising the dead or unleashing plagues. And you see the scarab there. But the lore of the Egyptian Book of the Dead is far deeper and much more profound. In reality, it wasn't a book of curses, but a sacred guide for the soul's journey after death. So basically, the Book of the Dead was a guidebook for the deceased soul on how to navigate through the underworld. And it wasn't a book, it was actually a scroll, a collection of prayers, spells, wisdom, sometimes passwords that were meant to help the deceased navigate through challenges in the underworld, how to face divine judgment and reach the eternal paradise of the field of reeds, which was the ultimate destination of the soul. So this is a text not to fear, but to hope. It's one of hope, transformation, and the promise of life beyond the grave. And tonight we're gonna strip away the Hollywood myths and uncover the real story behind this ancient masterpiece, its spiritual power, its poetic beauty, and its role as one of humanity's oldest roadmaps to eternity. So, Egypt, any questions? You were going to say something?
No, I was just excited that I knew something. That the Egyptian Book of the Dead is 78 feet long, and the only reason I remember that is that it was, or I saw a show on it once that was 78, a scroll 78 feet long, and
So
on a scroll on
no.
the
Let me clarify a little bit on that. The scroll you're referring to is the Annie scroll.
That's the one.
And yes, and that is only one scroll. The Book of the Dead wasn't a specific publication. It wasn't a specific piece of literature. It was a custom-made guide that people will commission. It started with pharaohs, and then people who were wealthy, with a collection of spells, prayers, passwords, and things that you use in the afterlife. There's no two Book of the Deads that are the same because they were custom made.
Coolio.
Yeah. Huh?
Cool.
Yeah. There so far they found around 25,000 Book of the Dead, and not each one of them is different. There's a lot of different prayers and spells that were essential, but at the end, it was really custom made to the person. We
So
can
it's
think
just
of it.
like a grimoire.
Yes, yes. Something similar would be that a grimoire, maybe like a book of hours. A book of hours was, medieval book, handmade with a collection of prayers, and not each one of them is the same. They have beautiful painting, exquisite lettering, but each one of them is unique. That is the same case with the Book of the Dead.
Hmm.
Now, the one that is the most known is the Book of Annie, and we're going to talk of Annie. That's Ani, and he was a scribe, a royal scribe, who commissioned a Book of the Dead, and his was preserved in like the best amazing way, and it's right now in the British Museum, and it's exquisite in its imagery, the way it's preserved, and that's the one that's being used for a lot of the publications that we have today. um, when it's translated in English, there's a lot of different translations related to the Book of the Dead. um, but the Scroll of Annie, which is the one you're referring to, which is a massive scroll, is the one that is the most popular.
Well, I'm glad I knew something, even if it wasn't the right thing.
No, 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 but you were close. You're pretty right. So the Egyptian Book of the Dead was known to the ancient Egyptians as the Book of Coming Forth by Day, or also Pert Hem Ru. And it wasn't a single book, but it was a collection of spells, prayers, and hymns and incantations written on papyrus scroll, linen, or in tomb walls. And its purpose was to guide the deceased through the afterlife, also known as the Duat, or the underworld, to protect them from dangers and help them achieve eternal life amongst the gods. For the ancient Egyptians, death was not an end, but the beginning of a dangerous journey. Sorry, trying to take this caption off. But death wasn't the end, but the beginning of a dangerous journey and transformative one as well. They believed that the soul traveled through the Duat, or the underworld, a realm filled with dangers, trials, and divine judgment. And the ultimate goal was to reach the eternal paradise of reeds. But not only those who proved worthy could enter. And how did all this evolve? The Book of the Dead didn't come all of a sudden. There was a process that built one on top of the other till the culmination of this publication. And the first one will be the pyramid texts. And the pyramid text, this was between 2400 and 2300 before the Common Era. And these are the earliest known funerary texts. The pyramid texts were inscribed on the walls of royal burial chambers inside pyramids, particularly during the 5th and 6th dynasties of the Old Kingdom. They were reserved exclusively for pharaohs and a few high-ranking officials. And these texts aimed to ensure the safe passage of the king's soul, also known as Ka, K-A, into the afterlife and his transformation into a god. And they contained spells, incantation, rituals that protected the deceased and helped him ascend to the sky to join the sun, god Ra, and the stars. What's the particular feature about this? They were not illustrated. They were just vertical hieroglyphs directly on the inner walls of the pyramid chambers. Remember, when we talk about Egypt and pyramids, it's not just the pyramids of Giza. There's thousands and thousands of pyramids. And they present the earliest ideas of resurrection and divine kingship in Egyptian religion. After that, we have the coffin texts. And the coffin texts were between the years 2100 and 1600 before Christ. And they happened during the Middle Kingdom. Funerary beliefs became more democratized, which means it wasn't just exclusive to the pharaohs. The coffin texts were painted or inscribed on the inside or the outer surfaces of wooden coffins, and sometimes on tomb walls or papyri. They were available to nobility and wealthy non-royals, and the purpose, these texts expanded upon the pyramid texts, adapting them for private individuals. The spells not only addressed the soul's protection and journey through the underworld, but also included maps of the afterlife and instructions for avoiding dangers such as demons and pitfalls. And the language became much more accessible, and the content grew to include moral elements and personal judgment. And after that, we the next phase is the Book of the Dead, and in this case, the location or the timing when it happened was between the 1500s and the year 50 before the Common Era, and this happened during the New Kingdom. The Book of the Dead was a highly personalized funerary manual written on papyrus scrolls, which are placed on the tomb with the deceased. Like its predecessors, it was commissioned by individuals from a broader spectrum of the society. This could be royalty, official priests, and artisans alike. And the purpose was a text to help navigate the Duat, or the underworld, containing over 190 spells designed to protect the soul, provide magical assistance, and ensure a favorable judgment by Osiris and the 42 assessors. It helped the deceased become a blessed and transfigured spirit. The Book of the Dead was richly illustrated in colorful images that depicted scenes which we're going to discuss further on, like the waiting of the heart, the souls addressing the gods, the journeys through the gates, etc. And unlike early texts, it was mass produced by scribes and tailored with the name of desired spells of the purchaser, which included biographical and devotional elements. Now, when the Book of the Dead became a popularized practice among Egyptians, there was a mass produced version as well. So there was like a standard Book of the Dead in which, depending on your income, you could order one and have your name filled in the blank parts. But there were others like the Ani scroll, which
Like
were
a
like
form letter?
Yeah, it's sort of like a generic one,
Oh.
that will say like me blank, uh use the spell for this, that, and then we'll put Bobby. Or Selena can commission her own with her own spell. I mean, with the spells that she felt will be more
Yes.
useful to her in the afterlife.
Yes. Oh, in the afterlife, even better.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So, what's the legacy of this book? Together, of these stages, they reflect a profound transformation in ancient Egyptian religious thought, from exclusive royal divinization to a more inclusive vision of the afterlife open to many. Any questions so far?
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So, what are the different topics that were discussed or were covered in the Book of the Dead? Some of them were protection in the afterlife, and a large portion of the Book of the Dead consists on spells for protection against physical and spiritual dangers in the underworld, or the Dua. And these were spells to repel snakes, crocodiles, and demons, spells to prevent the heart from being stolen, spells to keep the body intact and the soul from being dismembered. And the function was to arm the deceased with magical defense so they can survive the hazards of the underworld and maintain their identity. The second topic or function was the journey through the Duat. And like I mentioned before, the Duat is the underworld. And this part covers the navigational aspect of the afterlife, how to pass through obstacles, gates, and judgment areas, and in some cases, passwords to pass the guardians. And these are not like passwords like, I don't know, cookie 18, or I don't know, whatever password you use nowadays. These were phrases that were used to be able to pass certain areas and certain gates. They include also map and depictions of the Duat and instructions on how to address correctly gods and spirit. And basically, it was a guide for the soul on a step by step through the underworld's complex geography and encounters. The third aspect that is also covered in the book is the weighting of the hearts. And on this one, a key ritual moment in the Book of the Dead, and we're going to explore it, and it's like my favorite one, is yes, you were going to say something?
Well, I was asking when you said um, the void. It made me think: is that like that on the tree of life, the great nothing?
Void?
When you were talking about getting eaten up, the spirit
Mm.
being
hmm
consumed.
Well, for ancient Egyptians, and this is something I was going to explore further on, but since you brought it up, um, the reason for having the Book of the Dead is to help them navigate the underworld. There wasn't a concept of eternal punishment. The things that the Egyptians feared the most was annihilation of the soul. If you didn't go through these trials and steps correctly and pass judgment, at the end you were going to be eaten by a monster, and that was the end of you. You would be erased from memory, from existence, and it was a second and much more profound death. They were much more fearful of the death of the soul in the afterlife than of physical death. So that's when we're talking about the void. It's like the total annihilation of the soul.
So
That's
like
what
the
they fear the
final
most.
death.
Yes.
There's no rebirth or anything after that. No.
No, no.
Nothing.
You're done.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're toast.
You're finito.
Mm-hmm. So that's why it's very important that they had these instructions and these this handbook available before their death to be able to navigate them, to equip them with how to overcome these, because there was a lot of like complex, it was like kind of like a video game. We're going to go through each one of the steps that the soul will go through to from the moment it died till the ultimate destination, which was the field of reefs. And the field of reefs wasn't a paradise in the concept that we understand it or we think, right? It was a perfected state of your life. So, like for example, a farmer, they didn't really want to be a pharaoh. The perfect life was to be still a farmer because they were proud of their job, but it was like in the perfect field that was always fertile. The temperature was amazing. They were always have harvest. That was the ultimate destination. Is that level of perfection. For the pharaoh was to have a stable kingdom, perfect people who would like follow them. It was like a perfected state of your current life, right?
Got it.
Yeah. So I guess in our case it will be, we will have like amazing shows with millions of people watching us, and but still in this lifetime, me complaining about having a lot of job, a lot of work to do, but
Hmm.
but kind of like in a perfect state, if that makes sense.
All right.
Yeah. So the weighting of the heart, which I mentioned, what is a very crucial point in the Book of the Dead, and it's a key ritual moment in which the soul undergoes a moral judgment in the hall of Ma'at. And who is Ma'at? Ma'at, and I have an image of her. This is Ma'at. Ma'at was two things in one. She was a goddess of the afterlife, but she was also a state of perfection. It was perfection, justice, beauty, all encompassed in one. So it was being in Ma'at, or or facing her was to being in that state of pure pure state, you know, of purity, basically.
Like the temperance energy and temperance card, balance,
Yeah,
complete
balance.
harmony.
Yes, definitely. What is the fourth topic that is discussed? The transformation and apotheosis. And these were spells and hymns that will allow the deceased to transform into sacred forms. And the last one, which is the ultimate one, is the union with the gods, joining Ra, Osiris, and going through that final journey. Um, so we're going to talk about Ani, and I'm going to try to explain the journey of the soul through the Book of the Dead, through the eyes or the life of Ani. One of the most famous guides, one of the most famous Book of the Dead that describes this journey is the Papyrus of Ani, which is a 78-foot book of the dead, the Book of the Dead, that belonged to Ani. And who was Ani? Ani was a royal scribe. Like I mentioned, he resided in a city called Thebes in the 13th century before Common Era, and his story illustrates not only the beliefs and rituals of ancient Egypt, but also their unshakable faith in magic, morality, and the continuation of life beyond death. And he was not a pharaoh or great warrior, but he was a man of letters and devotion. And as a scribe, and he served as both a record keeper and a scholar, a profession highly respected in ancient Egyptian society. He was wealthy enough to afford an elaborate Book of the Dead, a scroll custom made with specific spells, prayers, and instructions that will guide his soul through the afterlife. And the the Papyrus of Ani was discovered in 1888, and it's now housed in the British Museum. And it remains like one of the most beautiful and exquisitely preserved examples of the Book of the Dead. And
That's
it
the one
depicts,
that's 78 feet long.
yes,
Okay.
yes, it's huge. Of course, it was divided in different parts, but its detailed illustration depicts Annie's trials, the gods that he encounters, and the final reward he seeks, which is eternal life among the blessed dead. So, um, like I mentioned, at the heart of all this is Ma'at, the goddess of truth and balance. And she was the cosmic truth, balance, and cosmic order. Um, she was both a goddess and a concept, and she wore a simple ostrich feather in her hair, which became the ultimate symbol of truth and justice.
She was also the wife of Thoth, who was equated with Hermes.
Mhm.
So
Annie's
she's my
soul.
mother.
So to reach paradise, Annie's soul had to prove that it was aligned with Ma'at, free of falsehood and chaos. Now, commissioning a Book of the Dead, and in the case of Ani, they believe that you have to think that he was a royal uh, employee. Think about like a governmental,
Functionary.
yeah, that we have nowadays. What he paid for that scroll was the equivalent of half his yearly salary. And in his case, being a scribe was the equivalent of being an accountant. So just imagine what an accountant, today's government, half of the equivalent of that salary was the cost of commissioning that book.
Well,
And it took a really long time to be able to do it. But at the end,
Um,
I I believe that, I mean, the way things worked out, he achieved immortality because we get to know of him through that book that he commissioned and was preserved. So let's talk about the journey that the soul will go through to be able to, from the moment that it died through uh, getting to the reef of fields. The first one will be. Sorry. When Annie died, the journey began with his death and careful preservation of his body. The Egyptians believed that the physical body was essential for the soul's survival. Without it, the Ka, Ka, which is the vital force, and the Ba, Ba, the personality or spirit, would have no home to return. So a team of priests performed the sacred art of mummification, a process lasting around 70 days, and his internal organs will be removed and stored in canopic jars. But his heart was left in place. For Egyptians, the heart was not only the center of emotion, but also memory, character, and moral conscience. The body was dried using natron, a natural salt, then anointed with oils and wrapped in hundreds of yards of linen, soaked in resin, and protective amulets were placed between the layers, each carrying a magical purpose. And one might ward off snakes, the other one might open locked gates in the underworld. But among the most vital of these was the heart scarab, which you see at that illustration. In the place of the heart, on top of the wrappings, they will place a scarab.
A moon
That was
scarab?
not quite a scarab, very close. Um, Over Annie's chest, inscribed with a spell commanding his heart not to betray him during judgment. And I actually have one. I actually got this one in Egypt. It looked
I,
like this.
I
Of course,
exhibit
wow, that's
no
beautiful.
surprise.
there's a
That is
replica.
beautiful.
And on the back, there's an inscription of the spell.
That's awesome.
And there's one stage in the process of that we're going to discuss, in which this plays a very important part in being able to survive the trials of the death.
I
So
know that
mummific.
one. So that one I know. I'm gonna keep quiet though.
Please do.
Ah, you bastard!
So mummification was not just preservation, it was transformation. The priests believed that they were reassembling Annie into perfected form, ready for rebirth in the afterlife. So this first step, awakening of the tomb. There was a spell called coming forth by day. And I'm going to read it. Read part of it. It says, I step forth from the darkness of the tomb, radiant and renewed, like Ra rising on the horizon. These were the priests who would chant these spells to be able to waken the soul, waking the senses to be able to experience the afterlife. Because remember, when you die, all the senses are shut. So this spell would allow them to like regenerate and awake again to experience everything around in the Duat. Spell number 23 was called the opening of the mouth, and this restored the senses from the dead, allowing them to breathe, speak, and see again. The second stage, once you died, was crossing the threshold. And in this case, the soul steps into Duat, a realm of shadow, rivers, stars, and guardians. And to be able to cross, you had to use a passcode. And it said, I know your name, O gate of western horizon. He who protects the hidden path, open for me, for I am pure. So the Duat was a realm of shadows and trials, and upon leaving his tomb, Annie's spirit entered the Duat, a mysterious and treacherous realm between the living world and the eternal paradise. The Duat was imagined as a landscape of twisting caverns, fiery lakes, endless deserts, and towering gates. Guardians, half animal monstrosities, stood and watched, each demanding specific knowledge or password to allow safe passage. Amongst the most feared entities in the Duat was Apep, also known as Apophis, a colossal serpent of chaos. Apep represented everything that threatened order or the Ma'at, the cosmic balance upheld by the gods. If Ani failed to repel Apep or other malevolent beings, his soul could be trapped forever in darkness. Thankfully, Ani was prepared. His Book of the Dead acted as a guidebook and arsenal. Each spell on his papyrus provided instructions on how to overcome obstacles, avoid traps, and defeat hostile forces. For example, one spell might cause crocodiles to flee. Others could transform Ani into a falcon or lotus flower to pass unseen. And Egyptians believed that these words, when recited correctly, had real magical power to shape reality. The third step was crossing the 12 gates of night. And in this case, the Duat was divided into 12 regions or 12 hours of the night, each guarded by fearsome beings. So the deceased had to speak the name of each gate and its passcode. I'm going to mention some of the gates. There was the gate of fire face. And to be able to pass it, you had to recite, I know you, O flame face. I am the justified one. Open to me. Then he will have to pass the gate of the burning eyes. O you of burning eyes, open, for I am free of falsehood. The third gate, the gate of sharp knives. Your name is mistress of blades. I pass unharmed, for Ma'at is in my heart. Then you have to go through the gate of serpents. I name you, O coil bearer. Your venom does not touch me. Then you will go through the gate of darkness and say, I speak the words of Ra. Your shadows retreat. Then through the gate of whisperers, I silence all lies, for I am true of voice. Then the gate of storms, I name you Thunder Eye, and the winds bow before me. The gate of flames, I know you, devourer of fire, and I pass untouched. And then through that you will go through other gates, like the gate of screams, the gate of spears, the gate of knotted serpents, the gate of light. And the gate of light was the last one. And to be able to cross, you will have to say, I know your name, O radiant one. I emerge into the dawn. So these are different gates and part of the whole process to be able to cross. The fourth step will be crossing the waters. And in this case, the crossing of the waters in the Book of the Dead is a mythic and spiritual journey across a divine river or body of water, usually requiring knowledge, speech, and protection. The soul may request a boat, identify its divine parts, and convince or command a ferryman or guardian to carry them forward. This step bridges one of the most profound thresholds in the afterlife journey. So, key elements to be able to cross this step and use the boat will be using spell number 99. And it was for a ferry boat to be given to the soul in the realm of the dead. And this spell explicitly deals with boarding the boat that ferries souls across the waters of the Duat. And part of it read, O ferry boat of Ra in the realm of the dead, ferry me over to the eastern side of the sky. And to succeed, the deceased must know the names and the parts of the boat and speak correctly to the ferryman. Another one of the spells to be able to cross was saying, "Oh, you ferry the justified across the celestial river. Let me pass through the waters to the eastern horizon. I am pure. I am divine. I know the secret names." And through that, you will have to be able to cross to the other side. So that was one of the trials that you will have to go through to be able to get to the other side. Now, what I found interesting was that there was another spell that you will have to use to be able to cross, and it's mentioning the parts of the boat. And that was spell number 100, knowing the names of the ferry boat and its part. And this one kind of like complements spell 99, and it shows the ritual knowledge and its power. Knowing the divine names allows control over the boat and ensures safe passage. So, and it reads, I know the names of the sacred boat that crosses the water. Its hull is called He Who Ferries the Truthful. Its sail is Breathe Off the Sky. Its oar is Stroke of the Moon. Its rudder is Guide of the Starry Way. Its prow is Breaker of Darkness. Its stern is Watcher of the Horizon. The ropes are made of sky fiber tied with words of the gods. The mast is the spine of the bull of heaven. I know each part of its name, and so the boat will obey my call. So to be able to, by naming the parts of the boat, you had control over the boat to be able to go forward and successfully cross to the other side. So the fifth step in the journey of the soul was the battle against Apophis. And Apophis was a big deal. And where do we see Apophis in tarot? We see it in the Wheel of Fortune. It's usually confused or associated with Typhon. Typhon was a Greek god, but there was a lot of merging between Egyptian gods and Greek gods because of the connection that both cultures did. Like, for example, with Anubis. Anubis in the later history of Egypt became Hermanubis, which was a merging of Hermes and Anubis. Did you know that, Bobby?
I did. I'm sitting over here pumping my fist. I'm like, yeah.
Yes. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So one of the big trials was the battle against Apophis, and this was the chaos serpent trying to devour the solar bark. And in the Egyptian Book of the Dead, and especially in the journey through the Duat, the battle against Apophis is one of the most critical and dangerous moments. This is the stage where the soul, traveling alongside or as part of the solar bark of Ra, must confront and overcome the cosmic chaos itself. And what does this step represent? Apophis is a monstrous chaos serpent, enemy of Ma'at, which represents order and truth. And each night he tries to devour the sun god Ra as he journeys through the underworld on his solar boat. And the soul aligned with Ra, must participate in or witness the triumph of light over darkness. This is not just a cosmic battle, but it's a spiritual trial as well. The confrontation with inner fear, despair, doubt, and destructive forces. And for this one, they would use what's called spell 162, a spell for repelling Apophis in the night bark. And it reads, Begone, Apophis, you fall before me. Your coils are undone. Your power scattered to the winds. I tear you apart with the knife of fire, forged in the house of the gods, lit by the breath of Ma'at. You shall not seize the bark of Ra. You shall not swallow the light. I cast the net of flame. I strike the power of the gods. The night is cleared. The way is open. The sun shall rise once more. And what's the symbolic meaning of the spell? The knife of fire is the soul's spiritual weapon, which is purity, will, knowledge, or divine speech. And the undoing of Apophis coils symbolizes unraveling chaos, disorder, or self-sabotage. So this spell is both protective and empowering, and it's a declaration that the soul will not be overcome by darkness. So step number 6, and here starts to get interesting, is the Hall of Ma'at, the Hall of Judgment and the Negative Confessions. And in this stage, which is my favorite one, if we're looking at through Annie's journey, as Annie's soul advanced through the Duat, he arrived at one of the most sacred and defining moments in his journey, the Hall of Judgment. Here, the scales of truth will determine his fate. And presiding over this tribunal was Ma'at, the goddess of truth, balance, and cosmic order. And by her side stood Osiris, the green-skinned god of resurrection, wrapped in linen like a royal mummy. He was once a great king on earth. Osiris had been murdered by his jealous brother Set, dismembered, and then resurrected through the love and magic of his wife Isis. In the afterlife, Osiris now reigned as the Lord of the Dead, a symbol of both justice and renewal. And within the hall, 24 divine assessors stood watch, each guardian a doorway to a different moral principle. To pass, Annie had to address each one directly, reciting a series of ritual declaration known as the negative confessions. And these were affirmations of innocence designed to align the soul with Ma'at. These were not admissions of guilt, but powerful magical affirmations. By speaking them, Annie invoked the truth and rejected wrongdoing, demonstrating that he had lived in harmony with divine order. And I'm going to read some of these 42 negative confessions, and so you can have an idea what they contain. Speak these words as the soul once did before the gates of the God. Let them be a mirror and a vow. And it started by saying, I walk in truth. I have not committed sin. I honor others' boundaries. I have not committed theft. I speak honestly. I have not lied. I protect the innocent. I have not murdered. I respect sacred unions. I have not committed adultery. I speak wisely. I have not spoken harmful words. I bring peace. I have not stirred up strife. I speak gently. I have not shouted in anger. I protect life. I have not caused needless suffering. I give generously. I have not withheld food or care. I am just. I have not judged unfairly. I protect nature. I have not polluted the waters. I create harmony. I have not sown discord. And it goes on and on. 42 different statements about things that he is in the positive sense and things that he have not done. What do these statements sound like to us?
It sounds like I'm screwed, is what it sounds like.
I wouldn't have passed the first one, I guess.
Right?
No, it's believed that this was the foundation of the Ten Commandments that we read in the Bible. By association of culture, is believed that if you read through all 42, they depict the same ideas, not bearing false witness, not committing adultery, not killing, not stealing. So these are believed to be the foundation of our moral code or Christian code of the commandments.
Yeah, even if you narrow it down to 10, bro, I'm still screwed.
Yep, pretty much. So each statement was both a moral code and a protective spell designed to resonate with the gods and ensure Annie's heart remained light. Scholars have long noted the parallels between these ancient Egyptian declaration and the biblical Ten Commandments. Both traditions prohibit theft, murder, adultery, and dishonesty, suggesting that Egyptian spiritual law may have influenced later Abrahamic religious traditions. More than a list of rules, the negative confessions reflect a deep spiritual worldview that the soul is judged not just by divine law, but by its alignment with truth, balance, and compassion. And in this moment, Annie stood not merely before the gods, but before the essence of what it meant to live justly. Now, this one, which is my favorite, is called the silence of the heart. And if we go again, it goes back to the scarab, which is, this is the spell that is back here. And basically, the scarab symbolizing the heart and having the spell back here What is asking of the heart is, in that moment of judgment, don't stand against me as a witness. And the spell reads like this. Let me find the image. I apologize. It says, "O my heart, do not rise up against me in the hall of truth. Be light as the feather of Ma'at." So in this moment is where Anubis waits the heart. And the climax of Ani's trial was the waiting of the heart. That was like the most deep moment of judgment. And it was a ritual overseen by Anubis, the jackal-headed god of embalming and the protector of graves. And Anubis placed the heart on one side of the great golden scale and the feather of Ma'at on the other. And the heart represented the moral essence, every action, emotion, and through that and through everything that he had experienced in his life. And standing nearby was Thoth, the ibis-headed god of wisdom and writing, ready to record the outcome. If the heart was perfectly balanced with the feather, it meant that he lived, or the soul lived, a life in harmony with truth and order. And if it was heavier, burdened with sin and wrongdoing, it will face a terrifying fate. So the spell of the silence of the heart appears in Egyptian Book of Dead as part of the judgment ritual, where the deceased heart is weighed against the Ma'at feather. The heart was called the Ib, and it was considered the seat of memory, conscience, and moral truth. It could testify for or against the soul's judgment. Just imagine. That's why this part is really important. What it's saying, the spell is not saying lie. It's saying don't stand as a witness against me. Just imagine you're right there in your soul is being judged 42 different gods. You did your statements. Um, and you're right there, like your heart is being weighted, and you're like, I don't know. And there goes your heart. Selena, remember those cookies you ate at Walmart and didn't pay for?
That's right. They were delicious.
You would have been dead right there. Your heart standing against you, game over. You would have been dead. So that spell, what it says is, shut the fuck up.
Right?
Don't talk.
Please.
Don't speak.
F.
Just stay silent to prevent that, right? And it wasn't deceiving the gods. That was at the same time a spell for protection to be able to make it. You know, it wasn't lying to the gods, because I mean the gods already knew your life, but it was based on the evidence of how what was the outcome of weighing the heart. So this spell, um, uh, it's called spell 30B, and it's often inscribed of the heart scarab, and it was meant to prevent the heart from speaking out against the deceased during the weighting of the heart. And
so
it
now I
reads,
know why you have scarab in your name.
not really.
It's
I
the
just
moon
like
and
the
sun.
scarab. I just like the scarab. I don't know. It's a fascinating animal, but
It is, yes.
you know, it's next time you see an Egyptian
Say
scarab,
it however
this
you
is
want,
what the
Ramon. We
others,
all know you're an ancient Egyptian sorcerer staying young by stealing the vitality of
I guess,
innocent victims. Yes.
sucking on the scarab.
Sucking on the scarab.
I have it for breakfast.
There was a Twilight Zone kind of like that. An old black and white. The scarab
I
was
don't think
Really?
that's
keeping me alive.
vegetarian,
Yeah.
Ramon.
The scarab. I have
No.
a spell to make it vegetarian. It's soy scarab.
Soy scarab.
And the spell that's back here reads like, "Oh, my heart, which I got from my mother. Oh, my heart of my different ages. Do not stand up as a witness against me. Do not oppose me in tribunal. Do not rebel against me before the keeper of balance. You are my Ka in the house of hearts. Do not speak lies about me before the great God. Truly, I had lived in Ma'at. I have not given false witness. I have not done evil. Let not judgment be turned against me in the presence of the great God, Lord of the West. And the meaning and purpose, the heart must be still through this process, truthful and light. And if it speaks against the soul, it might be devoured by Amit. And Amit is the soul eating goddess. And if it remains silent and supports the soul, the deceased will go find its way through the reef of fields. And Amit, like I mentioned, the devourer of soul, was there ready, waiting to eat the soul. If it failed the waiting, the heart will be cast to Amit, the monstrous devourer. And this monster was a combination of three fiercest animals known to the Egyptians: the crocodile, the lion, and the hippopotamus. And for Egyptians, it was not just death, but the ultimate obliteration. Any
Wow.
soul and any soul will be ceased to exist, erased from memory, and denied eternal life. But Annie was prepared. His heart scarab amulet, inscribed with the spell, ensured that his heart would not reveal secrets or past failings. With the help of this charm and his devotion to Ma'at, Annie's heart balanced perfectly and he passed the test. And the next step will be transformation. And the soul transforms into divine forms. And there was a spell called the Falcon of Horus, and another one for being a phoenix. And the one for the phoenix reads, I am the Bennu bird, the flame upon the sacred tree, the spirit of dawn rising from the ashes. Death does not hold me. Decay does not touch me, for I burn with the fire of renewal. I rise each morning, clothed by the brilliance of Ra, my wings scattered in the night. I am the song of resurrection, the eternal flame of life, the bird of radiant coming. I do not die. I am reborn forever. And the
Wow.
ultimate, yeah, it's beautiful. It's just amazing. And uh, the last step will be the union of the gods. And this was a moment of perfection in which the soul will be reunited with uh, Ra and Osiris. Now, after that, you will go into the field of reeds, which was actually the last step, and that's the eternal life and perfection. Yeah, and there was a last spell that will enable you to be able to live comfortably in the afterlife, and it was the spell for of the Shaptis. The Shaptis were these little figurines that were placed in your coffin that will serve as servants, to be able to do like any type of labor, manual labor. So if Selena, the perfect afterlife was you being at home, working perfectly. You will have these Shaptis do your dishes, clean the house for you, do anything
Fan
so you could
me,
be
feed me
Fan.
grapes.
Peeled
give you
grapes.
anything that was physical labor. They will help you and assist you with that. If you're a
Because I'm not
pharaoh,
getting my own grapes. It's not
there you
happening.
go. Uh
Peeled grapes, you savage.
huh. Yes. So going back into this topic, what's the legacy of the Egyptian Book of the Dead? It's a peek into the vision of spirituality that ancient Egyptians held. It's believed to be the foundation also of the Ten Commandments, which is the base of uh, Judaism, Christianity, and some of the moral codes that our modern society has. If you're interested in reading further on this topic, and exploring the Book of the Dead, I recommend getting a copy. Like I said, I got this copy at Five Below. Um, I'm sorry, I lost my screen. Just bear with me 1 second.
No, you've ruined it. Now we're all unhappy.
No, so you can find a copy at Five Below, and it's or a bigger one at Barnes and Nobles. It's exactly the same one. One is in color, and it has images of the actual scroll of Ani. And what I like about it is that it shows you a plate of the Book of the Dead, but it also explains you who each figure is within this image, what it
Mm.
means, how it reads, and it's just fascinating. It's a fascinating reading. It talks about how they came across the Book of the Dead, a little bit on its historical background, some of the things that I mentioned, like the coffin text, the pyramid text, how it evolved from being just simple prayers and spells until being a religious piece of literature. Also, this is considered to be the first spiritual collection in human history. In the past, in earlier societies, there were prayers, incantations, spells, but a collection per se, this is to be considered the first one. So this has been my presentation on the Book of the Dead. Hope you liked it. Hope it piques your interest to explore further into it, because it's just a fascinating collection of ideas and vision of spirituality.
Okay, if you guys
Yeah,
have
I'm adding some
questions
links
for
in my.
Ramon,
Yeah, I'm adding links for people to buy them on Amazon. There's different prices from like $10 to $17. So I'm finding different, like a 46 pager or 100 and some pager. There's a bunch of them on Amazon.
And I recommend getting, because there's different translations from of the Book of the Dead. Find the one that says translated by A.E. Wallace Bulge,
Mm-hmm.
who
That one was
was the
$10. Yeah.
yes, who is the person who actually acquired the Book of the Dead, the scroll of Ani. He's the one who rescued it from Egypt and brought it into. It's in England right now. I know, looking back, a lot of people consider it to be cultural theft, but the way a lot of these antiquities were handled, if it wasn't because they were exported to other countries, we would have lost them. There was no protection against water, climate uh, conditions. So we know about this thanks to him and his translation. So
No.
get a copy.
Yeah. There's lots of different versions on Amazon, guys.
Yes.
And there's
And
lots
if
of
you're interested,
EA Wallace on there as well.
Roman
yes,
says, "Great job again, you guys. Thank you. I worked very, very hard on that, and so did Selena."
yes. And
Yeah,
if you're
it's me in
interested
the
in
chat saying
acquiring
hi to everybody.
a fun deck based on the Egyptian Book of the Dead, there's one available. There's an Oracle. I found this at Barnes and Nobles as well. It was like $10 only, and it has like each one of the Egyptian gods and elements from the Book of the Dead. And the book gives you a meaning for each one of them, not directly associated with the god, but sort of like a spiritual meaning. And you know what I find interesting is that the Lovers is my significator card in tarot, and in this deck, the Scarab is card number
Oh, I
6.
was gonna say why, because of Gemini.
Yeah, it's a Gemini card. That's why.
Yeah.
And in this deck, the Scarab is number 6. Fascinating.
Excellent. Everybody's loving the
Mm-hmm.
show. Everybody. Yeah, we really did a whole lot. We got to sit back and look at the chat. That was our job tonight. Poor Ramon had to drive the bus all alone.
That's fine. Next week it'll be your
That was
turn.
really
Selena's turn.
pretty deck you have there, Ramon.
Thank you.
You feel like pulling a couple cards?
Yeah.
Like
Pull
we
a couple
could?
of cards.
If you guys would like, we will pull a few cards. So why don't you put into chat hashtag Scarab.
Are you gonna run the wheel?
I will run the wheel. Put hashtag Scarab.
Let me go get some decks.
Yeah, I've got my Isis deck. See? There we go. Hashtag Scarab. Scarab, Scarab, Scarab. Now, obviously, we can't get through everybody. So what we're going to do is when Selena gets back, each one of us will pull a card for a person. We'll pull a few people and see how that goes.
Okay, here we go, Miss Tarot D. Miss Tarot D, I've been before the show. I sprayed myself with your Florida water.
Oh, yeah, me too.
For this Egyptian themed show, I needed some mummy energy. So.
Ouch. Ouch.
I love you, Miss Tarot D.
Queen down! Queen down! I'm your mummy.
Yes, you are.
Okay, there's Selena. And yeah, here we go. Ready? So, the first one, we're going to draw 3 names right now. Ramon's going to take one, Selena's going to take one, and I'm going to take one. So, for Ramon,
Patsy Q. Are you here, Patsy Q? Please let me know.
That is a really cute picture, by the way, Patsy.
It is. It's a beautiful photo. Patsy Q.
Patsy
yes, she is
yep,
here.
She is here. All
and
right.
Patsy, I have to say you're the first person that I'm using this deck with. So.
Okay, I should point out, you guys, since we just announced the hashtag, they're probably here. So I forgot all about that.
All right, Patsy Q. Let me.
So Selena will be reading, pulling a card for. Oh, look who it is! The Fabled Witch. And Bobby, that's me! We'll be reading for. And using my Isis deck tonight. Ooh. Julie Ann. All right, so let's remove this.
All right. Put me on the big screen, please.
I'm working on it. Gosh, you're so demanding.
Be quicker. You should get this down by now.
Get this shit down.
All right, Patsy Q.
I'm getting there. There we go.
All right. And the card that came for you is Hathor. And Hathor was the mother goddess of the Egyptian pantheon, and therefore she was the divine mother of all the pharaohs. She was a nurturing goddess, and her people would invoke her in aid in matters of family and parenting. Hathor was also responsible for welcoming the dead into the realm of the Duat. In this case, Hathor indicates nurturing energies are in play. This could be a time of family harmony or maybe struggles with parenting or conception. It could also mean that you need to indulge in a little more self-care and nurture yourself more. As a goddess of cosmetics, beauty, and sensuality, Hathor comes to let you know that it's time to put the glad rags on and let your hair down a little bit. Go out dancing or go to a concert and embrace her gifts of music and song. Hathor is telling you to have fun, to embrace life, and to share your hospitality with friends and family. Let her mothering energies nurture you and spend some time doing what makes you feel good. That's what I have for you.
Thank you, Ramon. Selena.
Okay, so the deck I am using today is actually a deck I just got in the mail. It is from Bill himself.
He's
from
here.
the 99 show.
Is Bill
And
here?
look at
Mhm.
the box.
Oh, I have a deck
He
like
is
that.
here.
Yes, I have one too. That box is
I just
beautiful.
got that in the mail, so I'm using his deck. I did do an unboxing today, guys, of the video. I did post it. And so the message I got for you, Bridget, is here's the card itself. So if anybody knows, he does a lot with crossword puzzles. And there's a couple words that stuck out to me on this, and I got snowflake and hobby. So I'm not saying that snowflakes are your hobby, but maybe there's a hobby that you need to maybe continue looking at and take further. And then the snowflake part, I'm kind of getting two messages on here. The snowflake is someone being a snowflake around you? Are you getting those types of vibes? Because I started making my own little oracle deck of like snarky little messages, and this message said, "Which please you knew better." So I'm getting like you need to trust your intuition when it comes to people and how they are portraying themselves to you, especially the snowflake. So if someone is being kind of like around you, you know better. You know what to do with them. Don't second guess yourself. And then the hobby word on here, I think artistic hobby is what's coming to mind. So definitely continue with that. So those are the two messages I have for you, Bridget. I hope that makes sense.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Bobby, you're up. Oh, wait, that's me.
Yeah, you.
Okay, so Julianne, for you, I'm using the Isis Oracle. It's got this big bug on the back. Look at that thing. It's a scarab. I was messing with Ramon, but he stepped down for a second. So the
I'm
card I
here.
drew.
I heard you.
You rang.
That'll learn me. Okay. I pulled the Osiris Rises card, the card of healing the divine masculine. And for those who don't know, Ramon is doing a series right now with Rochelle, I believe, right? Amethyst Ascension on the
Mhm.
divine masculine. Wonderful series. So this is a card saying space needs to be given to your healing. Pay attention to your healing. You're going through a stage of transformation right now. You are gathering your strength. Go with it. Accept that your healing is taking place. It's uncomfortable at times. We have to face those shadows. But the path you're on right now is the right path. I like in the book, I can't remember what it said. I don't want to dig it out. But when it talks about this card, it talks about healing the divine masculine so the divine feminine has room to bloom. And I just love that. Sometimes we have to be our own warriors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much what I have for you, except that you're healing right now and that it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable while you rise. And that's what I have for you, my dear.
Beautiful.
Do you guys feel another round in you?
Vámonos.
Yeah.
Órale.
Why not?
Okay.
Órale.
So,
Órale.
Very,
Mexican.
very Mex.
very Mexican.
Okay. All right. Here we go. So Ramon will be reading for.
Yeah, I can do it as
He's
you.
coming for my gig. Nancy. A crone's intuition.
Nancy.
Nancy,
How
are you
amazing.
still here, my love?
Are you still here, Nancy?
Let me go back and check. Okay, Nancy, please respond. Nancy, I call across the great void to you. Come, join us now.
You're summoned at this moment. She is here. All right. Thank you
Yay.
for responding, Miss Nancy. Let's see what the Book of the Dead Oracle has for you. Sekhmet. And that will be card number 10.
I have Madrina.
All right. I think you're muted, Bobby. No, you're muted still.
Doesn't look like he is though. Like doesn't have a little button icon. Maybe it's your mic. Did you tap your mic? It was Aria. Did she grab your mic?
Oh, he's gone. All right. I can go ahead. Oops, sorry. All right, I'll put myself on the big screen since I'm reading. All right, Miss Nancy. So you got Sekhmet, and she represents resilience, robustness, and courage. Sekhmet was the lion-headed warrior goddess of the Egyptian pantheon. Her energy is vibrant, strong-willed, and feisty. She is associated both love and war because she is frequently a fine line between the two. If this goddess is present in a card reading, then she is telling you that a battle is coming which you must face. Fear not, for she will be with you in every step of the way. Sekhmet calls you not to be afraid of conflict, but to focus on and embrace the peace which follows. Sometimes a war must come, and a conflict is just part of life. You don't need to go looking for it, but you do need to face it, stand your ground, tap into your warrior energies. If someone is targeting you in a negative way, if they are fool enough to cross you, show them your claws. Be fierce and unstoppable, just as Sekhmet. Never cowered before your enemies. Purr to draw them closer. Then strike with all your might. This goddess comes to give you courage and strategy. With Sekhmet on your side, you can be assured of your victory. That's what I got for you.
Can you guys hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me read for you, Miss Nancy.
All right, Miss Selena.
Yes. I have several cards for you, Miss Tarot D, my madrina. The first one came from our very own Lennon Smith, who is in the chat here. It's called An Eden's Kiss, and it's the poetic version. So you guys are going to have to brace yourself. Anybody under 18, please close your eyes. You don't want to see this. But the image, the poetic version says, "You teased me in the stairway. I offered the spirals of juice flowing from my veins." That is the card, Miss Tarot D. Isn't that gorgeous?
It's nasty. It's got a booty on it.
Beautiful.
It's got, there's a lot of good stuff going on there, Miss Tarot D. So it talks about, "You teased me in the stairway. I offered the spirals of juice flowing from my veins." Isn't that beautiful?
Beautiful.
next card I got for you is from my Feminine Wisdom Oracle. And it talks about its home, safe haven, and a comfort zone. So it's just reminding you that how your home is your comfort zone, your safe haven, but make sure you continue to keep it that way. Don't allow people's negative energy to come in the way and to muck up your perfect energy that you have created for your home with your saging and your sprays and your crystals, your energy. It's just a reminder to make sure that you continue to keep it a safe haven and a comfort zone. And then I pulled a card from Bill's deck, and there's several words that are jumping out at me, and it says desk and curfew. So I'm wondering, first of all, you're probably past your curfew and you might need some of your beauty sleep. The second thing, desk, it's a reminder to make sure you put up your comfort zone and your protection that you need at your desk. So don't forget to do that in case you haven't done that recently, making sure your area in your workspace is nice and cleansed and safe. So those are my messages for you, Miss Tarot G.
See what she says. Oh my God, my hubby and I just had this conversation. Yes,
You
that
and I
is a
are
beautiful
connected,
card,
Miss Tarot G.
Lennon.
Like, yeah, we're connected. Yeah. Thank you. I love
Okay.
you.
And
Love you.
Jade let me know that she was here. I love you too. Don't make it sound like I don't love. No, I love you too. Jade, the card I drew for you is a very beautiful card. It's called the Mother of Life, Nourishment of the Golden Grain Mother. This is the aspect of Isis that is overflowing with gifts, abundance, joy. All the good things are coming to you. The trick is you have to accept it. I'm getting the feeling that you don't want to move forward in certain areas. It's life is giving you good things right now. Embrace it. All right, don't hesitate. He who hesitates is well, you're not lost, but you know what I'm saying. Don't skip your chance to achieve certain things for yourself because you're concerned with other people or concerned with false belief systems that you're not good enough or that you're not right for something. Now is the time to jump on it. All right. Jump on it.
Jump on it.
Jump on it. On it. On it. All right. So that's what I have for you. All right. So we're back at the beginning. I think we could do one more round, you guys.
Yes, we
And then
can.
Bobby has to go.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so let me put the screen back up.
And Bobby has to go to eat.
Yeah,
Bobby always has to go to eat.
Did you make
I
a cheesecake this time, Ramon, or no?
I did. I did a dulce de leche one.
Stop it.
It's so good. It was so good. I got the dulce de leche from a Mexican market.
Oh,
So
I love
good.
it.
It's so good.
I'm gonna make some Mexican muffins this week. I'll send you my recipe, Ramon. See how you like it.
Whoa, what
Yes.
about Selena here?
Do you bake, Selena? I didn't even know you knew where the kitchen was.
I made pozole yesterday.
Kidding.
What do you mean I don't know?
Okay. So Ramon is going to be reading for.
Selena, are you a kitchen witch?
I am, yes.
Are you? Okay.
That's right. She knows how to brew potions. She's the kitchen witch too. I thought that said rust boobs. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Barbara.
Rust Bob's Barbara.
He definitely needs to go eat.
No, well, because that's why I have to lift my glasses.
No, he
up,
needs
guys.
new glasses.
Yeah.
He needs
All
good
right.
glasses.
Are
Barbara, are you here?
Barbara? Yep, she's here. All right.
Yes.
So
All right.
Selena is going to be reading for Janet.
Ooh, Janet. She's here.
And
She's on.
I.
I think she was still here. Yes.
See.
She
Yes,
was
she
in my
is.
chat
Okay.
over here.
Okay. And before I draw, I do want to tell you guys, do you know why I talked about myself in the third person is because I had a name change in 2016. And it was the only way I could get used to being Robert, to being Bobby. It felt so alien. So I made a joke out of it. Bobby this and Bobby that. Now it's just habit. And Bobby's reading for
Lennon.
Lennon Smith.
Oh, amazing.
Yay, Lennon. She's here.
Okay, remove. Okay. So, Ramon, you're up first.
All right. So, Barbara, the card I got for you is called Utterance. And it reads, the utterance played a vital role in the Book of the Dead because without them, the deceased would have not had the correct spells to pass through the 12 gates of Duat and arrive at their judgment. Therefore, it was essential that they knew exactly what to say and when to say it. Without these spoken spells, they would be unlikely to reach their judgment or the afterlife. In this card reading, utterance stands for your communication, including self talk. This card comes to remind you that all words have power. You can harm or you can heal simply by things you say. Words are charms of communication. Used wisely, they can help you progress through life, but used spitefully or without due consideration, they can impede that progress and hold you back. This is especially true of your self talk and how you communicate with yourself. Keep your internal dialogue as positive as possible. Likewise, think before you speak to others. Make a considered response rather than a swift retort. By all means, speak up for yourself, but do so politely. Weigh up your words before you speak them and consider the impact they will have and what the consequences of this impact might be. Choose your words wisely. It's not only with others, but also with yourself. Look into that internal dialogue you have with your soul and the words you say. Love yourself a little bit more, and everything that comes from your mouth and your soul, make sure it's rooted in positivity and love. That's what I have for you.
Awesome. Okay. Selena.
Hey, Bobby.
Selena.
Lennon was giving instructions to Eternal Light on how to put their name in for the drawing. So she wants their reading to go to Eternal Light. So she was
Eternal
telling
Light.
them. Yes.
Are you bequeathing your reading? Okay. Not a problem. I will do that for Eternal Light. Hold on. Let me redraw.
Thank you, Lennon. Okay, Janet, I have 3 cards for you. The first card I got is from Lennon's deck. It is an Eden's Kiss. This is on her Make Playing cards, and it's the poetic version. So this one's not super naughty, but it's really pretty. It says, eject the petals from ravaged extinctions. Isn't that beautiful?
Beautiful.
And the next card I have is called Inspirations. Beautiful spark, moving impulse. So whatever it is that's inspiring you artistically, it's asking you to continue to move forward to that. But it's also asking you that if there's something that you're uncertain of artistically, stop doing that to yourself. Stop self-sabotaging yourself. They're wanting you to continue on with that journey. I know you mentioned earlier about snowflakes and how you just made a snowflake earlier. So I think this is asking you to even though there's a sun there and it's very sunny out and spring-like, definitely no snowflakes. Your creativity is definitely being inspired and moving, and to continue with that process, continue to inspire yourself, continue to move yourself, or even inspire somebody else, as you were doing in the chat. And then from Bill's card that I got here, there's a couple words that came out, and it's several of them actually: substance, evaluate, and desert. So I know we just talked about a snowflake, and that's clearly not a desert. But they're wanting you to evaluate whatever substance that it is around you, perhaps artistically. I think it all goes hand in hand with your inspiration, and probably don't over-evaluate yourself. Just go with the flow. Go with that substance. It's there for you. Don't sabotage yourself and your creative artistic abilities. That's my message for you. I hope that resonates.
Wonderful. Okay. Mr. OD, I'm sorry. It's that time again. We all love you so much.
Yes, we do.
Okay, you said I was reading for Eternal Light?
Yes.
Okay. Funny that that's who I'm reading for, because the card I put... Selena, get off my stage. The hell? Hold on.
I mean, I am prettier, but yeah, go ahead.
The shade.
Okay. So
although you do have a nice haircut.
Wait until I grow it back into my ponytail. I miss it. I'm growing it back. So the Portal of Light is the card I pulled for you. She glides on wings through time and space. Isn't that a gorgeous thought? This is saying, do not be bound by the confines and illusions of time and space. Send your healing powers back. Send your healing powers forward. You're being called in all directions. You're being called to address matters that need attention outside of what you would consider linear. So if you've been dealing with family karma or ancestor work, something to do outside of our time, precognition, anything like that, go ahead and lean into it. This card is saying, don't worry, I got you, boo. This is saying that you are protected and guided, that portal of light is there for you to access. Pretty much that's what I have for you. Don't let the illusions of time and space bog you down. Okay, because that's
no bueno.
Caca, as we say in Spanish. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Selena, what do you got coming up?
I am starting a series, a live one, where I will be interviewing witches.
Oh, what's it called? What's the name of that series?
Hold on.
Hopping the Broom with Selena.
What'd you call it?
Hopping the Broom with Selena.
Oh, that's a good one, but no.
No, that would mean we're married. Jumping the broom.
Witch Within the Veil.
What's it called? I'm sorry?
Witch Within the Veil.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like it.
So I have I have actually several people lined up that want to do that, but the first one that I'm interviewing is actually Bridget, the Fabled Witch, who I just read for.
Mm-hmm.
So we have I'm still getting everything situated and ready, so our first live is not going to be until the 30th, I think it is. I think it's what we said, what we decided on, but I could be interviewing someone sooner. We'll see. Yeah.
Nice.
Reach out to
That's
me if
awesome.
you want to be on a live with me, and we can just sit there and chat together. I would love to, get to know, ask you some questions and get to know your. It's like a sacred interview. It's a different kind of interview than what Bobby and Ramon do. We don't do with like cards or the
It
other
must
stuff
be. I
like that.
noticed neither of us were asked to be interviewed.
Because I just started it.
I'm kidding, Selena. I'm kidding. I'm
I
messing
just
with you.
started it.
She's like, dude,
I
it just started. So what else
started.
do you have coming up?
Let her breathe, Bobby, please. You want
No,
to be on every
right?
show with us. With her.
Clingy.
I know I want to get Jess on. I'd love to get Lennon on. There's so many witchy, wonderful women in our community that I would love to get on and chat. There's about 28 questions that we kind of go through and ask. But we don't have to go through
Is
all
that
of them.
number
I'll send you the list.
arbitrary?
I'm sorry?
Yeah,
Is that number arbitrary? 28?
No,
Or,
definitely not.
Did
No.
you just make it up, or is it's specific?
It's like your origin and your path, your daily practice and tools, magic, creativity, and spell work.
I was asking because you mentioned witchy women. I didn't know if it was tied in with
Well,
cyclical
I said
nature
women
of women.
because I was the women I was reading off on the list here, on my chat here were women, the witches, like Lennon and Witchy Best Friend and the Fabled Witch. But like Draven,
She says,
I
I'm
could
down.
bring Draven on as well. I can bring Bobby on. I can bring Ramon on. See, Lennon's down. Yes.
A lot of people are down. You're Selena.
Yeah.
Everybody
So
wants to
like
be with
energy,
you.
wisdom, and the collective, shadow, truth, and growth, and then our closing stuff. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, I've been thinking about this and like even got really nice paper.
That's
I
really
see
nice. Yeah. And questions are more like a guideline,
Yeah, they are.
At least
I
that's
had
how.
questions for last week, and I think we only hit like 5. Everybody else was asking a bunch of other
Mhm.
questions that we really didn't get through, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's
Everybody's
great.
saying-
I do it for In Orbit with, I have like a list of questions. I tailor them depending on the guest, but it's more like a guideline to be able to, I'd rather
Yeah,
have like a more flowing conversation.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I have.
Thank you, Bridget. She said, which is gender neutral term.
A lot of people are saying that. Yes. I was playing with my dear sister Selena. She knows it. Saturday.
We never know, Bobby, because your jokes usually don't
I'm
land.
kind of a bitch when you come right down to it.
He said kind of.
Kind of.
On the 9th, which is Saturday, I will be on with Ginger Faye.
Mhm.
And we are going to talk about our favorite spooky TV
but he
shows,
doesn't bother to ask us
movies.
about our own spooky stories.
Ginger asked me if I wanted to do it. Yeah.
Is that a
You hear
show?
that,
I mean,
Ramon?
like a series?
No, we're just doing a one-off.
It's just,
and
nice.
then we'll probably be reading cards
can
with
turn
spooky
into
cards.
Oh, like your spone, like your bones reading, right, Ramon?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. Spooky readings. I like it. So yes, there's that, and then the following week I'll be on with Miss Tarot D and Selena and Ramon for the Leo show. That is our birthday party, and I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna have virtual cake and everything. So
Nice.
Oh, I thought we were gonna have real cake.
I'm gonna have real cake. I'm gonna hold up a picture of the cake for you.
We can all bring our
And
slice of
come.
cake. We can all bring our
Absolutely.
slice of cake and celebrate in our homes. In each one of our
Absolutely.
locations.
So everybody, I want to
Yes,
thank Ramon.
Lennon. Actually, I am doing another show. I'm doing one on Saturday not for the Lionsgate, but it's for the full moon, which is on Saturday. I'm going to be on with Sherry, so we're going to do our little slumber party, full moon rituals.
Yeah.
Sherry the Swamp.
Sarah,
I can make a virtual
voices
cake for
from
myself.
the swamp. I was
Yes.
stumbling
I was
over
gonna
my
go with
word.
Swamp
there.
Boys,
You're
but
going.
that's
You're
not
gonna
it.
be the Saturday. Who's gonna be the Saturday over there?
I'm on the
You.
26th.
Oh yeah.
I'm on this Saturday.
I'm on the
Yeah. I'm
following
on the
week.
one after that. We're like kind of like
I
a
think she just
fixture
has,
there.
Yeah, we're
like,
cycling
us on
through
there.
Sherry. Yeah, she
Yeah.
likes this. We're fun. What can I
Yeah.
say?
There, Bridget asked, did Ramon bake the virtual cake
I
Absolutely.
could make one. Yeah.
and then eat it
Yeah.
for himself?
Yes.
And watch us all go, ooh. Everybody does that anyway for Ramon. Ooh. Dude, everybody is saying you should do this. This is museum quality, educational quality material you've
You're
been.
like the new profe.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fun to share knowledge. You know.
I
Oh,
said I would
Lennon.
fail all your tests probably.
Yeah.
What's next week's episode? What's next week? What are we
That's
having
Bobby.
Next week is mine. We are
What are you doing?
continuing. Well, see, the plan is to
Thank you.
continue with solar deities of North America and talk about the sun gods of Mexico. I'm tossing something up in the air, but as it stands, the sun gods, solar deities series continues.
Hmm.
Oh, I don't know who that is. Somebody texted me. Huh. I guess I'll have to look. Yes. As it stands, it will be solar deities. But I really, really want to do an episode on dogs.
The Cholo dogs?
Those two.
Or just dogs in
yes,
general?
they're the bridge dogs. They're the well, I started researching the Mexican solar deities, which of course I'm Bobby, and I went with the Mexican death deities, and it just went and I really wanted it just went. I squirreled is the bottom line. So it's a coin toss.
He squirreled, bro.
We're gonna see what happens next week. We'll find out. But the underworld
To be
in
determined.
Mexican culture is so cool. So it may be the underworld, it may be the overworld. We'll find out. Who
The
knows?
underworld.
I know. There's
Oh, you just gave me an idea for a show.
What?
We should do. I should do a show, the underworld in different cultures, like the concept of the
Ooh.
underworld and how it's evolved through, in time and history and different cultures.
That's a great
Like
idea,
that.
Ramon. That's right up your alley,
Concept of the underworld. Yeah, because there's been.
I mean, you're just talking about the Book of the Dead, so.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you, Bobby.
That's what I do, man. I
Lennon
bring
said
inspiration.
Yes, everybody's saying
Best
yes,
friend
yes,
said
yes.
Fabled Witch. Everybody's saying yes.
I don't know. What do you guys want to
Yes,
see
all
a
right.
show on? That's what I'd like to know. What do you guys have suggestions on in chat? What would you like to see us tear into? That the underworld is a great idea.
Because I don't even know what I'm doing for mine in 2 weeks. Now that I'm just thinking about it. Like, what do y'all want me to touch on, discuss? Potion making? I don't know. What do y'all want?
Ooh, potion making. Yeah, let us know. Please follow us on Facebook with the Behind the Moon Facebook community forum page where you can comment on our videos and also
Aliens.
aliens. Oh, you should love to see how to make oils. Oh,
Yes.
Selena. There you have it.
Maybe we can do that Fabled Witch on our live.
I could always make you a mod for those shows too, so you can load your videos that way and have visual
What
aids.
videos? I'm going to make them right in front of your face.
Ooh,
Live.
Akumi. Oh, she's so shishi. Everybody's saying your potions are fire.
Aw, thanks, Lennon.
Would love
They are.
that.
They're amazing.
All right, you guys. So we love you, and I really do enjoy doing this show with Selena and Ramon. So I want to thank everybody in chat who has
I
been
do
watching
too.
on 3 different channels. Every single time, I'm grateful for you guys. All right. So
And we got to do It's Not Me, It's the Deck show.
yes,
Yes.
we'll book
So
that backstage right now.
Yeah.
All right,
Hold on,
everybody.
let me do
Everybody.
a final card for our collective here. For the
Uh,
cards that I just made.
That's a
Let's
good.
do a final card for the collective.
Yes.
Oh my god, it says your ancestors are screaming in 4D, guys. So if your ancestors are telling you something, you better stop, drop, and listen.
Exactly.
That's my final message for you guys. Your ancestors are screaming
Thank
in
you, Faithful
4D.
Witch.
All right, you guys, we love you all, but I gotta go eat. So,
Bye, guys.
Good night. Bye.